Hello and welcome to episode 96 of Rivers Arcade Review. My name is Ed. This channel is dedicated to the coin-operated video games of yesteryear. Today I'll be reviewing a favorite of mine, Mr. Do's Wild Ride. Mr. Do's Wild Ride was released in 1984 by Universal. My first time playing this game was at Grorgie Boy's Restaurant in Chicago, Illinois. Mr. Do's Wild Ride is a platform game in which you control Mr. Do the Clown with a 4-way joystick and a run button. You need to guide your clown through a series of roller coaster themed tracks in order to reach the goal and capture the flag at the top right of the playfield. Just below the flag will be 2 bonus items that you will collect when you grab the flag. You'll earn points based on which items are there when you grab the flag. The game will begin with your clown at the bottom left of the playfield. You'll begin each life with 4,500 points on the bonus timer. The timer will decrease 1 point approximately every 300ths of a second. When you reach the goal, you will be awarded whatever points are remaining on the timer. You need to reach the goal before the timer reaches 0, otherwise you will lose a life. There will be a series of roller coaster cars that will travel along the tracks. You need to avoid these cars because if one contacts you, you will be knocked around the playfield and you will lose a life. Throughout the tracks will be a series of ladders. You can climb these ladders to allow the coaster cars to pass under you safely. You need to climb these ladders cautiously because when you're at the top of the ladder, your head will be vulnerable to trains passing on the track above you, so you can't just climb the ladders to stay safe. The coaster cars will appear in groups of 1, 2, or 3. You can use your run button to either outrun the enemies or to reach a ladder before an enemy makes it there. Using the run button will speed up your clown about 33%, although it comes at a cost. While using the run button, your bonus time will decrease 11 times faster than moving normally. In addition to the coaster cars, there will be 2 tracks that house what look like steel balls that will bounce left and right. You need to avoid these balls because if one contacts you, you will lose a life. These balls will follow a predictable pattern by bouncing against one another similar to a Newton's cradle. In addition to the enemies, several of the ladders will have a cherry at the top of them. Unlike other Mr. Do games, collecting all the cherries will not end the level. Each time you will collect a cherry, the bonus items under the flag will change. These items will include sundaes, cocktails, umbrellas, swords, money bags, and trophies. In addition to the bonus items, bonus letters will also appear under the flag. Similarly to other Universal games at the time, spelling extra will award you a bonus Mr. Do. Occasionally a diamond will appear under the flag, and collecting it will award you a free game. Once you make it to the goal and capture the flag, the level will end and you will earn points for each bonus item you collect. If one of the items you collect is a letter, that letter will change to yellow on the top display. The second round will be another set of roller coaster tracks, although in a different layout. You still need to make it to the top right in order to clear the level, although you will face a new enemy, a floating pirate ship. This ship will be guarding the top of the playfield. The ship will follow an arcing pattern similar to the weight of a pendulum. You need to avoid the ship because contacting it will cost you a life. You need to avoid both the coaster cars as well as the ship to make it to your goal. The third run will consist of even more coaster tracks, although this time there will be sections that you cannot run across. These tracks will be on the right side of the playfield as well as the second level of tracks. To move from track to track, you need to use one of the 3 elevators. The elevator on the right will move up and the 2 on the left will move down. The elevators will move approximately every 3 seconds. You need to maneuver your clown to the 3rd level in order to make it to the upper level. You can run across the 3rd and 4th levels to collect the cherries for points, although you can skip the 4th level altogether. You need to avoid the trains just like previous rounds. The 4th round will consist of more tracks as well as 2 long sections that you cannot run across. These tracks will have an elevator platform that will transport you across the sections of track you can't run on. These platforms will remain in place for approximately 1 second before moving to the opposite position. It will take approximately 2 seconds for the platform to move from the top to bottom and vice versa. There will be one of these platforms on both sides of the playfield. In addition to the moving platforms, there are 2 new items that will harm you. The first item will be the steel balls, although instead of being on a fixed track, these balls will be on springs that will move up and down. They will be located on the right side of the playfield. Just like previous levels, you need to avoid these balls or you will lose a life. The second item will also be a steel ball, although this time it will be mounted on a rotating pole that will spin clockwise and cross the track about 50% of the time. You need to time your run across this portion of the track in order to avoid being hit. If this ball contacts you, you will lose a life. The fifth round will consist of more coaster track, although now there will be a large carousel at the bottom right of the playfield. This carousel will have 3 levels of coaster tracks running through it. There will be carousel horses that will move through 2 levels. These levels of horses will move up and down like a traditional carousel, and the lower level horses will move across all 3 rows of tracks, and the upper level of horses will move across the second and third row of tracks. These horses will only remain inside the carousel area. In addition to the horses, you still need to avoid the coaster cars. The 6th round will be the most difficult round you face. This round will have the most areas that you will not be able to move across. There will be 6 rotating rings that will have platforms on them that you need to move across in order to make it to the next level or the next ring. The first ring you will come across will be the largest you face. This ring will have 4 platforms and will spin counterclockwise. You need to time your moves to the platforms so that they line up with the track so you can either move onto or off of, or you will fall off, costing you a life. These platforms will connect with all the tracks you can move on and off of at the bottom right of the playfield. After exiting the large ring, you will face a smaller ring. This and all remaining small rings will only have 2 platforms and will spin clockwise. You need once again to maneuver onto one of these platforms in order to cross the gap of track that you cannot walk across. Once you clear the gap, you will be able to easily move up to the track on the highest level. Once you reach the top level, you will face 4 smaller rings also with 2 platforms on them. These rings will cross each other and the platforms will line up so you can move from one ring to the other. You will need to move off the left side of one platform as it lines up with the next ring's platform. This will be the trickiest part of the level because if you try to cross the platforms and they are not lined up, you will fall and it will cost you a life. Once you are on the far right ring, you need to line it up with the goal and step off to the right in order to beat the round. You need to do all of this while avoiding the coaster cars. After completing round 6, the levels will repeat, although there will be more danger items you need to deal with. Round 7 will be laid out exactly like the first one, although there will be an extra set of steel balls on the left side of the playfield. These balls will alternate blocking the track, so you'll have to wait between them because you will never have a straight run past them. In addition to the extra balls you will have on the left side, you will have a smaller ball on 2 different sections of the track on the right side of the playfield. These balls will be connected to the track via a connecting rod. These balls will spin on the track all while moving back and forth. You need to time your run across these sections of the track or they will hit you, costing you a life. Round 8 will bring you back to the pirate ship round, although there will be 3 balls on rotating poles like the ones introduced on level 4. There will be 2 of these balls on the right side of the playfield and 1 on the left side of the playfield. Round 9 will be the elevator level, although this time there will be falling yellow tiles. These tiles will begin at the top left and center of the playfield. These tiles will start from the stationary tile at the top. These stationary tiles will flash before dropping a new tile. You need to avoid these tiles or you will lose a life. Rounds 10, 11, and 12 will be an exact repeat of 4, 5, and 6 respectively, only faster. After round 12, the game will repeat levels 7 through 12, although everything will be faster except your clown. Scoring for the game is as follows. You'll earn 100 points for each cherry, 100 points for the sundae, 200 points for the cocktail, 300 points for the umbrella, 400 points for the sword, 500 points for the money bag, and 600 points for the trophy. You'll earn points for coaster trains passing under you while you are on the ladder. You'll earn 100 points for a single car, 300 points for 2 cars, and 500 points for 3 cars. You'll earn 500 points for each extra letter, and 10,000 points in a free game for the diamond. I really enjoyed playing this game and highly recommend playing it whether in an arcade setting or on an emulator. I like this game more than Marble Madness, but not as much as Rally X, so Mr. Do's Wild Ride runs into the 17th position overall.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any games you'd like me to review, please leave a message below or on my homepage. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned to new videos every Wednesday and Sunday.